Hey folks, welcome back. Doing something a little bit different today with Humankind, and we're going back to the VIP mod pack. VIP makes some fundamental changes to the game, rebalances cultures, all that sort of thing, and I've frankly only ever played through it once, and I've decided to come back. So we're going to be doing a fairly standard run. I've added in some personas that I've made myself, so hopefully they'll be a decent challenge. I've played against them all before. We did do something slightly different on continents. I decided to mix it up a bit. I do a lot of 2 continents. So I'm going to try 3 continents with New World off. So it's going to be like 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 players, I guess, per continent. And, you know, standard 40% map percentage and custom chaotic shape, right? Everything else is pretty standard as far as the setup is concerned. And of course, run the normal pace and Humankind difficulty. So let's get straight into it, and we'll get to explore some of VIP. Here we are at the very start of the era, and already I'm noticing we have 2 hunting parties here with VIP, which seems unusual. I actually questioned myself when I first loaded in the game if I did the right setting. But it seems like 2 is the default, which is interesting because it actually reduces the variance of your start quite a bit. We're going to explore along the river here since we started on the river. Nothing going on over there, actually, so let's explore around over this way. This could eventually turn into maybe a decent settle. There's a lot of industry here. There's a pretty decent-sized mountain range as well. Pretty bad location for a river there. I couldn't quite get to the river. And here we might have to sacrifice a little bit of movement just to get up here. Let's just go ahead and make that jump. There's nothing of particular interest down here. And I haven't seen any curiosity spawn in yet. There's a science one there. Let's maybe go a bit around the river here. Okay, there's some food if we wanted it. Unfortunately, that is going to take up my movement. So it would delay getting over the river again. I think that's fine. Yeah, 10 food seems worth it to me, and I can kind of go along this way and explore some of the coast. And then up here, I guess we just head for that science curiosity. So just as fair warning for VIP, I actually have not... we got another food spawn there. I'll take it. For VIP, I actually haven't looked at what the changes are. So I'm not familiar at all with really what to expect as far as gameplay changes, civic changes, that sort of thing. Saw that one here, and I could get that in one turn. So I'm just going to continue along this way. A lot of sterile terrain there. I was also thinking about exploring over this way, but I actually won't be able to get on top of the river if I do that, and I really need to get over it, so I'm just going to sacrifice a little bit of movement to hop up there. So, kind of an odd start in a way. This is a pretty big gap. Oh, sterile terrain. Oh, it's 3 movement cost in VIP. I forgot about that. Thinking I could just skirt right across there. That would be 1, 2, 3 to get there. We want to have at least 1 movement left, so let's maybe send this one over that way, and we'll kind of explore down this way. I don't really have a strategy in mind yet, and we're going to take this plus 20 food on hunting party so we can get some more tribes and continue to explore around. Science curiosity right here. It's going to take us a little bit to get where we need. I'm going to split one of these off and kind of send them along the coast this way. And over here, I am thinking about getting my first outposts down. 12 food and 11 industry is not amazing by any stretch of the imagination. Really unfortunate curiosity spawns, but I think I'm going to go for them. Just the sterile terrain eats into your movement, but pretty movement efficient to get to that one. It might be worth going for the 18 food, 5 industry spawn here. I really wouldn't mind starting with some extra population, and I've got a ways to go before I get some of my Neolithic era stars, so it'll be a while before I'm looking to convert anything over into a city. So I think I'm going to take that approach. And just enough movement to pop on the river there. I'll also start with dyes in my territory, which will be a nice little benefit. Dyes are actually pretty good early game, just because they give you flat industry bonus, which is the best kind of bonus you can have at the start of the game. Really is a flat bonus to something. Alright, so 5 turns to get that up seems decent to me. Oh, and there are mammoths down here. Alright, let's get these units combined, because we are going to go mammoth hunting in a moment, since those are very good for both food as well as influence. Just want to get the full extent of this river visible. Okay. So these guys are like really out here. I also haven't found any competitors yet, which tells me I have a pretty sort of safe start over here. I guess we'll kind of come out over that way. And then this mammoth is actually on a river now, which will be quite good for me. We'll go over here, and we're just going to make that attack on the mammoth. Yeah, probably deploy something like that. Okay. So what I'll do is pop on the river there, and I'm going to maybe let him attack me first. Yeah, I figured he would attack that one. Then what I can do... So I make myself somewhat vulnerable like this, but I think I increase my overall strength is by getting flanking attacks here. Or by, I guess, rear attacks. And it will get him off the river, right? He'll move right there. But I think that is fine. Then I can just go here for some combat adjacency and finish the job. A little complicated there because of the kind of river layout. Did I see 14 food from mammoths? That feels like an odd amount of food for mammoths to provide, because it doesn't, like, stack up with anything else, right? So, like, it's... that extra 4 food is basically useless unless you're hunting a lot of mammoths. Let's split some of these tribes out, and we'll bring them down this way, because we did see at least one other mammoth over there. And here we'll have that one proceed towards the food. A little bit more food there as well, not a lot. Wondering if I could find like a better city location. Some of the rivers on this generation are a little limited. I want influence or science. I'm definitely going to take the influence, very important resource at the start of the game. Actually, should have broken this the other way. I didn't want this guy to have the food. But that's okay. Okay, no sign of the mammoth. And I don't have enough influence for another outpost yet, so I guess we'll just keep exploring around this way and see if we can find any more food. Up here, I do like this kind of territory pretty frequently. There's nothing of particular interest up here, though. I mean, you could definitely get some decent maker's quarters in there at some point, but it's not really a viable starting location. This river is, like, segregated across too many different territories, and the food generation in that area is really bad. Okay, I'm going to go for astronomy, the +1 science per population. And I don't know how to scout this. There we go. Okay. If I attack there, it's not ideal. I only have one terrain that isn't river. I think I can make that work, though. I can get some adjacency for my guy that isn't on a river by kind of camping out down here. And I'm hoping that they come to me, because if not, yeah, so these units, they did come to me after a turn. Unfortunately, this battle's only going to last for a single turn here. So these units will retreat, but that's fine. I'll have the retreating status, I'll have some reduced movements, but this mammoth won't heal again. So I can continue to pursue that mammoth. It's 61 influence. I'm gonna hop back on the river and hope that maybe some more food has spawned. And I can also maybe take a look at some of the culture choices that are available here. Okay. Several have been taken already. Babylonians, Bantu, Egyptians, and Harappans, and Mycenaeans, all gone. So those are out of the running. The remaining ones, I'm kind of curious what some of the changes are. I believe the Zhou actually could be an interesting one. If I'm not mistaken, the Confucian school no longer, it doesn't need to be adjacent to the main plaza or administrative center, which is a really nice change for them. And I do have some pretty decent locations with a lot of mountain adjacency, so that could maybe be an option here. Humankind. I don't think that's... I mean, it's okay. I do have a lot of river, so I could get a decent amount of growth, but it would be nice to play people that I don't normally play. Interested about the Carolines. Farmers Quarter add +1 food to adjacent different districts. Oh, that's weird. Interesting. Okay, this one is hard for me to evaluate how good this is because I don't know what other changes have been made to adjacency. In the base game, right, the adjacency is with districts of the same type, but I actually don't know how that functions in VIP, so it's hard for me to assess how good that is. Then the ceremonial plaza has to be adjacent to coastal water, lake, or ocean. I mean, I have some of that, I suppose. The Phoenicians, I also just played, so I'm probably going to pass on them. The Nubians seem like they are the same, though the Meroe pyramids count as a religious district now. Hittites, probably pretty bad for me this game, because I have no close neighbors. Sumerians. +1 patronage on independent people per unit within their territory per turn. That seems a little bit different. And the Edaba, some extra science, maybe. They seem largely the same, though. I think the Zhou might be the best option. I would really like to at least get the growth star, though, before I go up. So I am going to just continue this here. Also a deer that I can probably get. We'll go ahead and do a manual battle. And I'm going to let that deer come to me. Okay, they're going to go on the river there. I'll get a downhill attack on them. Should be able to clean this up pretty easily. This will just get us a little bit of extra influence. And here we want to attack the one that is low health. Looks good. And let's just get some adjacency on our units here, and we can just knock them out in a single hit. And here. Yeah, I think we can probably go for this, even though we're slightly damaged. Curious to see where they will actually deploy. I'll probably have to back some units up. Oh, no. Okay, so they're on the river, but I have double downhill attacks here. So I think I'm going to make both of these attacks. My guess is they move to that tile. Yep. So what I'll do is maybe pull this one back and come here for another downhill attack. And they'll probably move on the river and attack here. Yep. There we go. So there's our growth star. And then I think we go ahead and grab this spot right here. And that will give us a good production attachment for this territory once we convert it into a city. And I'm going to go for the +1 money per population, since money is kind of challenging to generate sometimes. Just going to explore over here and make sure I have full vision of what this continent looks like. It feels very weird that I haven't found anyone yet. I'm used to much closer starts than this. Would be really nice to get that hunter star, and I'm pretty sure I saw another mammoth somewhere, but I don't know where it went, which is really unfortunate. Actually, I might be able to get it from this deer. Let's try this. I think I'm at high enough health that I can manage to do this here. Maybe if I deploy here. And it should come to me, maybe. I'm going to, like, kind of pivot around it, because this way I can retreat back up onto the high ground if needed. But it seems like that won't be necessary. Alright, so kind of a late entry into the last era here, but we did get all of our stars. We definitely want the +1 influence per population, given kind of how far we are away from everyone. We're not going to get a lot of value out of that +1 combat strength. And I am thinking about the Zhou here. I don't really see a really strong case for anyone else. Also, part of me just wants to play with the cultures that have had changes. I think you could probably justify the Nubians as well. Though my starting territories don't have very many luxuries. I take that back. I felt like there were more luxuries than there actually are. And then the Pamanyangan would probably be a decent choice, given I have a lot of river, but I've played them a lot recently, so I think I'm probably going to stick to my guns here and take the Zhou. Carolyn's, I mean, I just don't like them. I like the healers in Ceremonial Plaza kind of suck, so I'm just going to run with the Zhou and see how this goes. So let's grab them. And I am going to convert this to the city to start so that I have plenty of food to continue growing. I actually keep them on a farmer so we get another population really quickly here. And I'm going to hold off on attaching and disbanding. What I want to happen is for this population to grow, because when you like disband, it's going to increase the amount of food that you need, and I think it like resets the timer. So I am going to avoid that for now, right? Let it grow and then add population into the city after it grows so that I don't I like increase the maximum population that I'm going to get out of disbanding units and detaching territories. Then as far as tech goes, probably want to go straight for irrigation. I think we can go through calendar so that we get the dye online and then head up into irrigation. And actually, I might keep one of these guys alive just because I would like to claim some other territories here. And we have a few things to choose. We can get extra influence on main plaza and emblematic district, or reduce create outpost cost. And here, +5 faith on main capital, or reduce attach outpost cost and absorb city cost. Okay. Interesting. And then the effects of these things are a little bit different as well. I'm going to start with the reduced create outpost cost. I'm going to hold off on legitimacy because I would like to attach this turn so that I actually have real industry in this city. And then we can start disbanding some of these units as well so we can get our population up. And that will increase our influence output as well. And I'm going to put one person on science just so we can make some progress down the tech tree. We have a really nice Confucian school there, and we'll probably go for this one right here. We could maybe attach this territory to get a good, to get some extra adjacency on that Confucian school there. But I'm going to play that by ear for now. Okay, some free science there got me calendar. So we could also add in the Artisans Quarter as well, which I actually think is worth building first, just because that die is going to provide us with some extra industry, which we really need at the start of the era here. Now, I would like to maybe get a second city up in this area as well. Kind of close together cities. I'm going to use this to generate a little extra influence. Kind of close together cities if I were to, say, settle up in this area. Okay, there's a player down here. Good to know. Let's send one scout down that way. I'm going to pillage that sanctuary. Who are you? They're the Egyptians. And, okay, they have plus 20% industry on their cities. Alright, so could be a little challenging. They also have Mount Rorama down here. That's extra industry per worker. Okay. Good combination for them. Don't need to worry about them quite yet, and I don't see other viable city locations at the moment. I guess maybe if I had chosen the Phoenicians, some of the stuff up here might be okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking I need to maybe grab this, either that tile or that tile to start my second city. Army composition, we're not going to worry about that yet. And I think I'm going to grab customary laws for a little bit of faith so we can start working on religion here. And I'm going to keep exploring out this way to the extent that I can. I don't think I'm going to pillage that outpost. I'm not concerned about that territory at the moment. There's very little I can do to stop them. My scouts are just too far afield to really support them in any meaningful way. This will be a nice territory. It has 2 luxuries in it, so I do want to try to claim that as soon as possible. However, let's... Suppose I don't, need to claim this one right away. Let's go for the luxuries first, I think, and we can try to influence purchase some of those. So I want to make sure I have full vision of all these territories. I want to be able to deal with independent peoples. I want to know when, if anyone else claims those territories, those sorts of things. So I just want full visibility around me to the extent possible. And let's see. Yeah, we'll claim right there, and then we can influence purchase both of those, and maybe eventually attach it to our capital here. I'm going to buy out that artisan's quarter just so I can continue to produce things a little bit faster. And I wouldn't mind grabbing a maker's quarter in here. I'm going to finish a Confucian school first, just so we can pull people off science and put them onto other things. Little discovery there. Make sure we grab that. Getting the discoveries early game I've actually found to be really important to having a good game. And we also have the flood irrigation available, so we're going to slide that in, because that is another very important item as well. We also have a lot of forests down here, which leads me to believe that... Actually, I guess I don't know how it's balanced in VIP, but the religion that gives you industry on forest could be quite nice for me, in that area at least. Let's see. I don't want to go there, because that's a good Confucian school area. I could get, like, pack of 3 territories right here, basically. It's going to be very food challenged, though, is my main concern. But I don't see another option as far as second cities go. Because, like, up here just doesn't have enough food to sustain a city without harbors. So let's go for the higher food location first, I think. We'll grab it. I guess this area has some food. But let's grab it right there, and we'll kind of figure out what we're going to do with that city in a little bit. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to want a city there. Okay, next. We... I suppose we could go for wheel. I'm thinking maybe carpentry for archers, though. And I think we've already got, like, the core techs that we really need this era already. It's unlikely we're going to be particularly aggressive here, just because of the distance at which we spawned away from other empires. Excuse me. They have a lot more river systems down here, which is going to make them pretty dangerous, because they're the Egyptians, so they have a lot of industry, but they also don't really have any disadvantage as far as getting food. We would like to claim this. That marble would be really nice for us. We should be able to maintain a decent amount of population and housing as we go through the era here. And let's make sure that there aren't any luxuries out here that we're missing. Okay, there's pearls. All right. Not an amazing resource at the start of the game, but not the worst either. Salt will be really nice for us so that we can get our food going again and continue to grow. Man, they are claiming things like a maniac down here. Which persona is this? Yeah, I was thinking that they had some bonuses to influence generation, but that is not the case. Alright, and then technology. Let's just grab city defense, and then maybe we do go for the wheel. Though, we'll need some certain strategics in order to build it, so maybe not the best idea to go for first. And I'm just going to run around with these guys and keep collecting these curiosities. Alright. Yeah, they're really starting to encroach on my territory a bit here. I'm surprised they have enough influence to do that. Okay, so pearls are a low priority item. So we're going to start saving up our influence here, probably to found this city first before we really do anything else. Let's grab domestication just so we have the horses available. And I'm going to go ahead and buy that maker's quarter just so we're a little bit more efficient at producing things. And maybe we squeeze another maker's quarter in here. I'm going to move this guy off science onto industry since we do have a Confucian school. And I think flood irrigation first still makes sense, so we continue to grow in terms of population. All right, we have a religion. Okay, very different here. 6 faith on main plaza, minus sensibility on territories if territories are following a foreign religion. Ah, it's true for both of them. Okay. 2 faith on main plaza and 3 faith on administrative center. Interesting. Shamanism is a little bit better than I expected. So, still, you would need 2 attached territories per city for this one to be better than polytheism. But I think that is, like, about the number that I have attached early game anyway, so I think I'll go for shamanism this game. And they want to trade with me. I think I'm fine with that for now. If they want to buy stuff, I'll definitely end up going to war with them later, but improving my relationship for now is a good idea just because I am focused on more like infrastructure development. I think I probably grab bronze working so I can unlock copper and the forge and improve my industry a bit. Found a wonder here, which improves commons quarters, so not a particularly important wonder, especially not early game. I guess later in the game you could probably do some fun things with it, but not critical right now. I'm going to buy these horses with some influence before I get the city online. Won't affect the number of turns that I need to found that anyway. Okay, and this guy is going to continue to idle there. We'll just retreat from that battle and make sure we keep on top of this guy. Okay. Also have enough to claim a wonder. I am curious what wonders are available. Stables have been claimed, but frankly it's not as important as getting your second city, so I'm going to prioritize that. This is quite a bit tighter than I would usually have my cities at the start of the game. But we are going to make do with the territories that are available to us. And I suppose let's get the pottery workshop first, and then we'll go into the Confucian school. We are going to need another territory to attach there before I can really start investing into maker's quarters, I think. This terrain is not particularly good for adjacencies on districts, and I'm going to use the aesthete ability here just to get a little bit more influence. Go ahead and, I don't know, maybe we put it right there, maybe. Gives us some more options to, like, build out in that direction. This is the best area for maker's quarters. This will probably be a 4 territory city. Let's see. Yeah, weird continent. And this looks like the only other player on my continent, potentially, which is fine. Does, like, reduce the number of players that I have to, like, farm militarist and expansion stars off. Alright, let's maybe pick up wheel. Do I have copper? I have copper up here, so I'm going to need that territory sooner rather than later. And my emblematic unit will be very expensive to produce, but it's also a very good unit that I think I could make good use of against the Egyptians if I want to try to fight them. Which I will, right? Because I do want to try to get the militarist stars to the extent that I can. Is there really a good reason to delay this? Let's just go ahead and plop it down right there. And here, I guess we, like, keep this guy hanging around. I could maybe disband this one. Let's actually put some people onto money. And actually, I'm going to want to claim those pearls as well. I kind of forgot about that. And we can buy out the marble. The marble will improve our production efficiency in both of our cities a little bit. What's my third city look like here? And what? Okay, they just have warriors. Okay, they have a decent number of armies at this point. I'll be curious to see if they actually attack me. I do need to start working on an army, though. My production's just a little low, is kind of my concern at the moment. That'll remedy a little bit once I start getting this copper and some forges. I'm going to go ahead and get that copper there, just so I can do that. I don't quite have enough copper to, like, produce anything effectively, though. There's some copper up here. I guess maybe I could try to save up enough influence to claim this territory. And maybe I could turn that into a city eventually. And they've got the really good rivers down here. Okay, leadership. This one, city cap. Extra money from grievance, extra money from surrender. Extra stability on capital and reduced share of the project industry cost. Interesting. Army composition. I think I'm going to hold on to my influence for now. I'm not building military units right now quite yet. So I'm thinking I'm going to hold on to... what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to hold on to that civic until I start building military and then take the reduced industry cost. I would also like to claim this area right here so that this city can actually grow at a reasonable rate. I'm going to buy that Confucian school. And then maybe we attach up here. I think either of these would be fine. But this gives me better terrain to build Maker's Quarters on, so that might be what I prioritize. Yeah, let's attach here. And actually, is there a good spot for a farmer? Not really. This is the trouble with this area. I actually don't have vision of that location. So let's just go for a Maker's Quarter, just to improve our industry a little bit. And I just want to try to get vision of this entire continent. Kind of weird little dip up here. Okay. There's a hostile people developing there, which does make it a little bit more complicated to try to claim this area. I still would really like that. Copper, though, is the main problem. Don't need to sign any of those things yet. Food. How much do I continue about continued growth? I could get more growth in 3 turns, which might still be worth it. But on the other hand, if I look at my era stars, the merchant stars actually are not too bad. Let's keep someone on money. I'm going to delay there and here. And this guy will continue exploring that little area over there. And then maybe we start getting some military, because we are going to need it. Not much this guy can do, just need to try to escape this territory there. There's the wheel, got some era stars. I am a decent ways behind most of the AI so far. Don't want to... okay. Seems like I'm not going to get the copper there. I'll need military up there to claim it. So that has me reevaluating how I want to play this. Maybe I get this spot down here so that I can eventually attach this city. And also purchase that gold there, so that'll be a little bit of extra money coming in. And then as far as tech goes, I am going to need organized warfare. So we'll pick that up so that my armies can be a little bit more efficient. And let's put some people onto industry, and let's grab the reduced unit industry cost so that I can build these relatively effectively. This is going to be very expensive to build one of these, but it might still be worth it. I think I'm going to do a more traditional army first, just so I have some defenses. I'm going to refuse that non-aggression pact because I need to actually farm up some era stars there, some of the militarist era stars. Did I just disband this guy? I don't think so. I want to keep him there for the pearls still. It is important to secure those luxury resources. The pearls aren't super impactful right now, but what'll happen later is I'll forget to claim it. Yeah, see, they have an army coming towards me at the moment. I'll forget to claim it, and then they will send... they'll like send a unit to claim it, and I'll need to build a new unit, and I just don't want to deal with that. I'm going to put everyone on industry so that we're building our units efficiently. I had to guess, I'd say they're probably going to try to pillage me. I'd like to reveal... Okay, looks like I've revealed it. See... Ah, because this is not attached, so I'm not getting a science adjacency there. But I would prefer to have it right here, long run. So I'm going to make sure I get my Confucian school there. And I think I'm going to put everyone on science in here as well, or on industry in here as well, just so we're building things effectively. And man, they're really chasing my scouts around up here. Yeah, really weird map generation. Maybe there's some changes in VIP, but like this whole area up here just kind of feels like a dead zone as far as viable cities are concerned. Maybe we can... Do I care about this territory at all? It's a pretty crappy territory. I was thinking maybe I should try to claim it before they do, but I don't think it makes any real difference. Would be nice to claim the gemstones eventually, but it's not like a high priority item. Just instant resolve that. They're just chasing my units around. Okay. Warriors coming out soon. These guys can go down here, and... Actually, I should look at the wonders. How much do I need? 310. Temple of Artemis is still available, which would be nice. Unfortunately, pyramids have been claimed already, which are a very good wonder. But I do like Temple of Artemis a lot. And then tech. Oops. We could probably grab fishing here, just so that we can maybe influence purchase some harbors, say. And Haojing is done with my first set of units. Feels pretty late in the game for me to have my first units. But we did spawn a decent ways away from other players. Let's queue up this special unit here, just because we can get it in 2 turns right now, despite the fact that we have like a pretty significant resource deficit in terms of getting it. Also have the opportunity to pillage that sanctuary there. Actually, what I should do is... Oh, I can't attack the deer, actually. I thought the deer was adjacent to the sanctuary. You can get a little bit of gold from hunting animals still, so worth doing it when you can. Go ahead and get a little bit more influence, and I can drop an outpost in here. Just go for whatever the highest value one is, which looks like that one. Religion seems to be doing fine. Is there anywhere better to move this to? Not really. Do I want to attach here? I think I probably can. Let's go ahead and do that. That lets me advance to the next era, which I'm not quite interested in yet. And I could get another Confucian school if I wanted. Not sure how high value this particular Confucian school is. I guess the stability is nice. They do give science slots, right? Yeah. I'm also thinking about just getting more makers' quarters, because I feel like pretty low on industry. Maybe let's just grab the forge. Though, I still want at least another full army, too. I'm going to get 2 of those, and then pair them with a couple archers. They'll basically serve as my frontline units in fights. Excuse me. And then up here, we'll grab that. And we would like to try to get an outpost up in there still, especially since there's some marble up there, there's some dye. Like, there's some good resources in those locations. Maybe I could sign a treaty here. Actually, let's go ahead and try that and see if we can make a little bit of progress in terms of befriending them, because I don't have the capacity to really send an army up over that way. Harbor, I mean, that's only 7 food. It's not particularly helpful. Maybe I attach this territory just to generate some food. Oh, it would be a pretty crap harbor. Yeah, let's do that just so we have some proper food generation. We can also get a good Confucian school in there. So I think I will do that. And then maybe just get another maker's quarter, perhaps. Something like that. Share maps. No thanks. I'm gonna be fighting you because you're my only neighbor. Like, all this terrain in the middle just sucks. Which is not my favorites. Yeah, like, I don't think we have a choice but to try to fight them for cities, right? Because, like, so much of this terrain is just not suitable for city locations. I guess the Phoenicians actually would have been a decent option, but I did just play them in my worst culture run. Let's see, who has gone out? Okay, so that player's taken the Maya. So I'll need to think about who I am going to play in the next era. I don't have a strong preference yet. I don't know what I'll need to catch up on. Carthaginians might actually be okay this game. That would give me some harbor options, which I'm really going to need, because I need to make use of this territory up here, and harbors are basically the only option for that. Let's see what else there is. I don't know about anyone else. Sorry about that, slight interruption there, but as I was saying before, I'm not sure about any of the other options, really. Like, Goths, probably not. Maximites are all around pretty good. Yeah, I'll have to think about it. I'm not quite ready to go up to the next era, I don't think. I've got a little bit to go on some of the era stars that I think I can realistically achieve. That actually, if I can... Yeah, this is a good position to attack them from, because I have some really nice high ground here that I can kind of funnel them through. So these guys will have direct line of sight. Yeah, and I have high ground here. I'm going to make that attack. And they only have one ranged unit, so they're going to do a lot less damage to me than I do to them. I'm just going to let this warrior absorb one more round of hits, I think. Oh, and that's a pretty critical error on their part. I'm going to cycle that guy out, move these warriors in. We'll take that shot, hit them, and we'll hit the guys on the flag there. Unfortunately, this only lasts one round, so we won't be able to kill them, but we have started making some progress at the very least. Here, we'll buy the pearls. We'll get a nice harbor over there. That'll be a good attachment to my city at a later date. And I think we can disband the scouts and get them assigned to something helpful, such as industry. Really don't need anyone on science right now, thanks to the Confucian schools are generating more than enough science for my needs. I'm actually at 100% kinship with these guys. So hopefully we will befriend them pretty quickly. And I'll disband these scouts as well, and again, get them assigned to something a little bit more useful. Not feeling great about my aesthete stars at the moment. I think I can hang out with these scouts and kind of wait for these guys to disappear. I still want to slide into this territory and try to claim that river. Oh, okay, they're coming after me again. Alright. Funny that my guys kind of retreated after that combat, even though I was basically winning. Okay, and let's establish contact here, and we'll kind of do the same thing and just get some patronage here. They also have ebony, which would be really nice to trade for. I forgot that I can't embark in the ancient era, which is so sad on my part. Okay, we'll grab masonry. Stoneworks will be helpful for us. We have some archers that are coming out soon, and then we'll have a pretty decent contingent of units. Now, the thing I worry about is that they are the Maya now, so they might have access to some better units at this point, such as the swordsmen would be my primary concern. I don't know if I'll actually be able to siege their cities. See if I have... Yeah, these farmers' quarters all kind of suck. I'm definitely going to be dependent on harbors here. I'm kind of hesitant to build any because they're so expensive to build. I could maybe move this, like, to sacrifice some industry on attaching. Because what'll happen is this... Oh, is that sterile here? It's not showing any resources there. But if I moved this here, I could grab a little bit of extra food from exploiting river. It's not really that much, though. I don't think it's worth it. Okay, those guys will idle. And there we go. We have 2 full armies, so let's get a move on with these guys. And I would like to try to hunt around for more units that we could go after. Not sure why I have vision of Thebes. I guess trading, maybe? Okay, they're trying to claim these territories now. Let's stay away from them. Maybe we can grab a couple units to go deal with that. Because we don't want them kind of on our border like that. I'm going to buy that Maker's Quarter. I know it's expensive, but there's no use like sitting on funds for a super long period of time. And I guess we can start working on the forge in here as well. We are paying a penalty on it, but there's not much that can be done about that for the time being. Do I need more industry? Probably. I think the answer to do you need more industry is basically always yes. Get 11 industry from the lumberyard, though, so let's start with that. And then tech, we only have sailing left. My neighbor doesn't seem to have done a great job with tech so far, based on the units they've available. There they are. There's the swordsman. And Temple of Artemis is still available. I am going to claim that because I, A, want a religious district, and B, would like the extra combat strength on ranged units. Where's a good place for this? It seems like this has changed. Get some extra outputs per adjacent whatever. So adjacent Maker's Quarters, give it some industry. Okay, interesting. Would probably just put it in my capital. Trying to consider if that's actually where I want to build it. I wonder if I, like, sit on top of this, if they would actually attack me, because I really don't want this going up. Yeah. That is unfortunate. I was hoping that because they were low health, maybe they wouldn't go after me. Okay, well, we'll just instant resolve that. We'll hop up there with a warrior. I think 1 warrior will be okay, given the amount of health that was available. And I'm thinking maybe we just grab an outpost in one of these locations, so we have like a forward operating point where we can upgrade our units as we go up into the next era. Because we are done with the techs now. 24 gold for another merchant star, which is definitely doable. Yeah, I would get that this turn. I need 3 more districts for builder stars, though. I feel like I recall that it's just harder to get stars in general in VIP. I still don't feel great about my current position, though. I should try to get the growth stars. I think that is feasible. 2 turns there, 1 turn there, but I don't have another option as far as growth is concerned. Guess maybe if I have an outpost that's growing. But I do not, because my food generation is so limited. I could try to move this somewhere that gets a little bit more food. Let's see if that helps at all. 6 turns. It's not fast enough. Hmm. So I will get the Merchant Star. I probably won't get the Militarist Star. Definitely won't get the Diplomat Star, because I haven't even built the Embassy yet. Aesthete Stars, I need, like... I need a decent bit. So do I delay going up into the next era to get some of these stars? I'm considering it. I would like some more industry. Let's start down here, because I know I'm going to build Maker's Quarters out there. And let's get an outpost, like I talked about before. I'm just going to put it right there, so I get it right away. Okay, and they've got a little city up there. That is probably a good target for me, actually. Because that's going to be very isolated from the rest of their empire. Oh, it's 0 population. Ooh. Ooh. I could get a free city here. This is so hard to not take. Even though they are technologically superior to me right now. I'll have to play very defensively if I start this war. But yeah, I don't think I can resist getting a free city. Just, like, walk right in. Okay, so I'm going to have to pull back with these other units, I think. And they're coming after my scouts here. I think we can just deploy on the flag and be fine. Just sit here and defend. Oh, whoa. I should also change some things over to increase my combat strength. Okay, they just had a huge variance in that attack. I was like, why did I take so much damage? But they're not actually that much stronger than I am. Let's see if we can pillage that. Seems like I might not be able to, but I'm not too worried about losing that scout. Did get a merchant star there. I'm just going to keep those units occupied there. And we do need some civics. Could go for religious rights, actually. The reduced religious district cost is going to be nice, because I still need to build the Temple of Artemis. Go ahead and purchase that Maker's Quarter, and then I still need 2 districts. That's a minimum of 5 turns, unless I can buy some things. 1 turn on growth, 1 turn on growth. Okay, I only need 1 more. So 1 more turn, and I can get a growth star, as well as an aesthete star. Militarist star might be unreachable for me this game. The Zhou do tend to have a pretty slow start, so that makes some sense to me. Try to farm a little war support here, because we are going to lose war supports due to proximity and from declaring war. Hopefully we can manage to maintain our war support, though. And what do we want to work on in here? There's a part of me that wants to give up on getting that last builder star, because I think it would take too long. I'm willing to wait 1 more turn to get some of the other stars. So I think I actually just start with Temple of Artemis. And I might actually start it in Feng Hao here, just because it's a little bit lower on stability. So let's go ahead and do that. 6 turns to get is not too bad. Let's see if I can move some people off food here. And we'll check this one as well. Okay, so we need to keep 3 there. Okay, so this will probably be my last turn for this era. Take a look at my religion. Doing okay. Some people have gotten up to the first tier of Tenet already, which is not surprising that I'm behind, given that my territory has very limited growth potential. Almost wish I took the Phoenicians, but alas. Maybe I could still grab... oh, I guess these are a little different now. Observe fasts. Huh. What I was thinking about is, yeah, Respect to Seize bounties could potentially be good for me this game. I'll have to take a look at what these changes are when we actually get up to our first religious tenet. Want to keep trying to farm some war support here. Okay, weird place for them to deploy. get some adjacency. We'll go right in. Great. All right, so fame. Not my best era. Really missing the militarist stars, but I feel okay considering I don't really know the changes to VIP yet, and that we have like pretty low potential starting territory. Doesn't feel too bad of a start. So I think I'm going to kind of accept where I'm at with the fame because I am falling behind on science now. And I think I'm debating between Axumites or Carthaginians. The Kothon could actually be really handy for me this game, just to make use of some of this coastal terrain, because I'm so dependent on that. I have some good coast along much of these cities. I'll definitely have some good coast up into Call when I eventually take that at the end of the war here. And then anything up here is also going to be coastally dependent. Yeah, it does feel like Carthage might be the pick. It's hard to give up on Axumites. I do like to take them whenever they're available. Not going to have like a huge benefit from them at the start of the game, though. Something that actually would have been good are the Garamantes or the Celts, but both of them have been taken already, because I really need a way to continue to grow my population. But unfortunately, there's no real option. The thing with the Kothon, though, is that it exploits food, right? And it counts as a farmer's quarter, so this is actually like my best growth option at this point. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Carthaginian. So let's just confirm that, and we'll enter the classical era. And yeah, look at that, right? Like pretty good outputs from just a single tile here, right? And like right here, I can get 9 food and 15. I feel good about this choice. We'll see how it actually plays out for me in practice. But yeah, I'm feeling all right about choosing Carthage here. So thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you in the next one, where we will continue into the classical era playing the VIP mod pack as the Carthaginians. So see you soon.